right, back, Gentleman's Guidebook, with my guest today, Mr. Dom, Mr. Real Estate Extraordinaire. What's going on?
What's going on, buddy?
Chilling, man.
Thanks for having me.
I'm very glad to see you. I haven't seen this guy in
It's been years, buddy.
pretty close to 4 years, maybe?
It's been...
Don't remember the last time I saw you, to be honest.
Too long. Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, do whatever you want, man.
It's been too fucking long. It's been too long.
You've been taking over the world in this process. You know, the last time I saw you, I think you were studying for your exam to do the real estate.
Yeah, because I was selling wine for a while.
With Sam, right?
Yeah, and I just... Not with Sam, but Sam had his own thing. He was working for a commission company, and I was salary, and I had a lot of time spare.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to be... I guess successful is not the word. I'm not going to be who I want to be if I keep just doing this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not able to save money. You know, you're making a salary, but there's not much commission on top of that, and I just wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I said, screw this. A lot of people told me I'd be great at real estate.
Yeah.
I should try it. And buckled down, man. I've never been so focused in my life.
Yeah.
In 2 years, in a year and a half, I got it. With Oria, they give you a year and a half to get it.
Yeah.
So I spent it every time I wasn't selling wine or working out or playing soccer. I was studying hours and hours and hours.
I remember, man.
Hours, man. Notebook after notebook of writing. I developed carpal tunnel. But yeah, it's been a blessing. Best thing I ever did in my life.
It's a lot to learn, man.
It's a lot to learn, especially when you have no idea what the hell the books are about, what to expect. So it's definitely hard to focus for the first bit. A lot of people I talk to who are starting to get into it, they're like, damn, I fucking hate this. This sucks. This is boring as shit. And you know what? It's not the most fun shit to learn, but the deeper you get into it and the more focused you become on how successful you can be in the industry, that's when things start to stick.
Yeah.
That's when you want to study. That's when you want to do it. You want to do it now. And that's what I did, bro. I just kept at it.
I love that, man.
It's not easy. It's not easy. A lot of people say real estate's easy.
Did you have a goal when you took real estate on? Because like, I'll use an example for when I did my LQPs to do my insurance license and mutual funds. I knew in my mind I wanted residual income. That was my goal, right? So now to see what your view would be on the. Because it's the same thing, right? It's kind of the same model in terms of paying. They pay you your portion up front. For I think real estate's probably a little different. Because for me, if the contract fell off within the year, I had to pay back the money that I received up front.
So some brokerages are like that.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of brokerages are different.
Yeah.
Like Remax, not all Remaxes are the same. There's different brokers, different owners, and then they have Remax systems within house that are different from each other. Whatever, I guess, the bulk of the salespeople in that brokerage are open to.
Yeah.
With ours, it's standard $400 a month for Remax. Remax I pay to the brokerage every month, and then as you develop into higher commission based, so say you get to 100,000 then in commissions, then your say your split goes from commissions to 85 to 15 to 90-10.
Okay.
So whatever you get in commission, say you make 20,000 just hypothetically, you're now giving the brokerage a smaller amount.
Nice.
Smaller amount back.
That's awesome, man. I see you've been super busy with it too, man. How did you find prospecting? Did you have client lists when you came there?
So think about real estate, the first 2 years of falling down a fucking hill. And there's a shit ton of rocks.
Yeah.
And you have to get to the bottom of the hill in order for you to come up.
Yeah.
And that is how any entrepreneur should look at life, is you have to go, you really got to go deep.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. I think I had 3 or 4 meltdowns in the first 3 years. I'm on year 4 now, and after year 2, things really started to move.
Yeah.
Really started to move for me. A lot of referrals are coming in now. People have used me or using me again. I'll have a listing and someone will reach out to me on realtor.ca. I'll lock them in and I'll show the properties and they trust me. I just know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
And I don't really push anybody to do anything. I push logic. Like, we know the market. So if you want to see this house and it's listed at $999, but I know the house is worth 1.3, I'm going to know that information. I'm going to look at, previous sold prices of that specific house. Like, you have to go and do your research before you show these properties to people, especially if you haven't met them. They're going to ask you a boatload of questions. So you really got to know your stuff, and you learn that with experience. You're not going to know it right away. I learn every day still. And I'm starting to love it and love it and love it. I pretty much, we're opening doors and answering questions, but a lot of the questions at the beginning are very tough. You don't really know. And you find a balance of starting to understand things, and the faster you learn everything, and the faster you get thrown into the wolves, the faster you're more successful.
So were there any books that you read that
I like talking about books now. My entire life, before I was 33, I think I read 2 books. I read one of the Hunger Games books. God knows what other book was. I read 15 books last 2 years. So every morning, I have a notepad. I like writing stuff down, like what to do every day, objectives of the day. The first 2 things are always read for 10 minutes and work out. Doesn't have to be first thing in the morning, but like I play it out so that I wake up, I put a timer on for 10 minutes, and I read. Went through 15 books last 2 years.
That's dope, man.
15 books, and all like personal development, the monk who sold his Ferrari, ways to how to enjoy life, the values of life, what's important in life, and then, how to be successful. What successful people do.
Yes. I find that when my mind switched as well, I tended to read a lot. And I, like you, I come from a really well-read family. My dad has a personal library that probably fits both walls, just books. And I always hated reading, probably because they pushed it on me, but when I went to film school in BC, I found out, because everyone was such varying ages, that I had to catch up. So I'm just reading all the time. And then when I started like my original blog, Project Carver Diem, my goal was to read a book a week. So I was reading a book a week. But most books I read are like you, where you want to be, like a lot of Robert Kiyosaki, The Wealthy Barber, Think and Grow Rich, The Millionaire Next Door, The 4-Hour Work Week, Art of Nonconformity. I've got a shitload of books.
A ton of books.
But I love to hear people's book list, because it just kind of peppers what their life is and how their thought processes towards things. But that's one of the things that kind of comes part and parcel with a job like yours, because it's such you have to be a self-motivator to do your job.
You do have to be a self-motivator. When I was trying to get, when I was really progressing in soccer, my dad would always push me to go outside, go for a run, go for a run. What are you doing? Go for a run. If you're not studying, go for a run. Go run. Kick the ball in the basement, kick the ball in the basement. Practice does make perfect. It actually makes perfect. As I got older and got into better teams, better programs, you had to work hard. You had to focus on I got to be this fit in order to crack the lineup and play and get a scholarship and get these grades. So you were working hard in different avenues. And I think that effort that I used to work my ass off doing that, I've kind of moved it into the real estate side, where it's just all service now. Work hard in service. So if someone needs you to do something for them, do it right away. What are you waiting for? You might be in the middle of something. If you're in the middle of something, that's, obviously you set your priorities. Like if you're in the middle of an offer, and don't go and, don't do something that's less important right away at the same time. But do it as fast as you can. And then it's off your mind. I hate when someone asks me to do something, or there's somebody to call, and putting it off. It's just going to stay in your mind. It's going to build up, and there's more things to do. Tackle it all. Write it down. Cross it off when it's done, and that's it. And that's it.
That's a good mantra for everything in life. I find that we get so much bogged down with things, especially when they're so far out. You don't really think about it until it comes time, and then you find, I procrastinated. But if you chop it up, I fall into this pitfall myself. If you just chop up your day or whatever the task is, it just segments.
You'll get it done.
You get it done, right? It's like the building a wall. You get to stack a brick. brick, and
Exactly.
look, turn around, there's a house there.
It's just like goal setting. I don't want to buy a $5 million home tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's unrealistic. Well, it depends, but it's highly unrealistic.
Yeah.
But if you can save, 50 this year, 50 next year, 25, whatever it is, whatever you can save, make little goals, and that shit adds up.
Yeah.
It adds up, and at least you have a sense of pride, a sense of like what you're doing is working. It could be for anything. Losing weight. If you want to lose 5 pounds in a week, chances are it's going to be really tough to keep off.
Yeah.
But if you lose a pound a week, guess what? You're 52 pounds in the year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pounds. So like you have to put things into perspective. Don't make goals unrealistic. Do things slowly. You don't have to jump into something and do it right away. You're going to fall many, many, many times along the way, but the outcome's fucking great.
Yeah.
The outcome's always great.
So what is your goal now with this going forward? Do you have a team that you have that work with you?
I'd like
as
to be a
well?
broker eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. Broker maybe 2-3 years down the road when things get super busy. I can build a team. Have a bunch of agents under me slowly. I'm not like looking to do that right away. I'm super busy and super happy with how things are going right now with me. That's a huge responsibility to take on.
Yeah.
Huge responsibility. Right now I'm kind of focused on me. My fiance, I have a house with my parents right now. They live in Ancaster. I'm looking to buy with Sylvia now. I'd like that house by the end of next year, and then after that, maybe another 1 or 2 years down the road, another investment property, and just let things trickle down. I do like to go away and go on holidays, but right now it's just like my head's against the floor and I'm just running.
Yeah. Which it should be. I think it's the perfect time.
This is a good time to buckle down and work, and it doesn't even feel like work to me. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what time you want to see a house. For me, it's not work. I got to drive to a property, I got to do the research, and the research doesn't take long. Print out the files, print out everything you need, go to the property, show them, answer the questions. It's very, very simple. After you know everything, it's like when you know a full menu at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You can answer every question.
Yeah.
It's a breeze. But if you don't know the menu, you have anxiety.
Yeah.
But it's amazing when you do, and then it becomes just seamless. You have a question, I know the answer.
Everything's hard until it's easy.
Everything's so hard until it's a breeze.
Yeah.
It's a breeze.
That's interesting.
But you got to work hard to make it breezy.
Definitely, and you find that the beginning stage is the hardest.
Oh, the beginning is torture.
Yeah.
The beginning is torture. You get a lot of leads come through. A lot of it is just like unrealistic stuff. Unrealistic. Friends not taking advantage of you, but asking for things that are unattainable.
Yeah.
I want a house for $500,000. It's time wasting. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to Windsor, really. So it's.
I shouldn't have said that, but I meant.
No. I have nothing wrong with Windsor.
Yeah.
Like, Windsor's a lovely place, but I wouldn't buy there. I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
Investing there, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that on the up and coming for sure, Windsor. But like, just being realistic. You got to be realistic.
Did you have a mentor when you started?
Yeah, my broker's my mentor. Before I got into real estate, I was talking to him and I said I was going to do real estate. And he goes, if you need anything, just call me and text me. And I did it, if I had any questions, anything crazy was coming up, something I really didn't understand, I would call him. And I had a few friends like that.
Yeah.
But Vito was a huge mentor for me. Yeah. He still is.
Nice.
He still is. He pushes me. He tells me, it's like, Dom, this is important, stick to this, and you'll be good. You're on a good path. So he's been really good to me.
What does a traditional day look like for you now? Because I feel like you have everything segmented.
Every day is different.
Yeah.
Every day is different, but I try and tackle a lot of big time priorities like reading, working out. That's a daily thing. That's a Monday to Friday thing. And if I can't do it one day, I do it one day during the week. I do it on the weekend.
Yeah.
So reading and working out is huge. I still try and play soccer and stay active. Like to maintain a weight after I lost the weight, so I'd like to maintain that weight now. I feel good.
So you said you're at 155 now.
Yeah, 155 from 198 was the highest.
And why'd you make that change? Because you were still.
One day I looked in the mirror. I do not feel good.
Really?
Yeah, I did not feel good. I put on an outfit. I'm like, this is how I look.
Is it
I was so disgusted.
Is it the stockiness or is it?
It was. It's not. It's not that the weight is. Oh, I wasn't obese.
No,
I was
shape.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're in shape still.
Like I played soccer competitively.
Yeah.
Like I was not overweight, but I was not comfortable.
Yeah.
I was chubby growing up when I was little,
Mm-hmm.
and I got made fun of a lot.
Yeah.
So it was stuck in my head, and I honestly really thought I would never lose weight.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be like that forever, and it was traumatizing a bit, bro. So, and then you have coaches that say things to you that stick with you forever.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I run on the treadmill, I think of, I use people who threw me to the floor as motivation like no other.
Yeah.
They're I thank God they were in my life because I wouldn't be this motivated.
Yeah.
Thank you for shitting on me. I am happy that you were in my life because
The motivation is a crazy.
motivation
crazy
is
thing.
huge, man.
I remember a bad breakup led me to the same thing you did.
Yeah.
I remember I would be going to the gym every day.
Yeah.
7 days a week. Doesn't matter if I'm drinking the night before. Doesn't matter if I didn't sleep. Ride my bike uphill to go to the YMCA, working out. And I worked out at it was like an elderly person's gym.
Doesn't
So
matter,
elderly
no?
people around me, but it's like the most tranquil place. And then hit the sauna for an hour, half an hour, and then back home. But it was a regimen, and the motivation was all something that ex had said to me at that time. And then once you get over that, it's like I have to find new motivation for working out. But
For me, like if it's not that, it's like it's music. Some music really gets me going.
yeah,
But yeah, well, once I figured out the diet side of it,
Mm-hmm.
no one taught me the diet side of it. I had to learn the diet side of it. I went to some personal trainers that were super, super successful, absolutely shredded.
Mhm.
It's like, God, I don't want to like go and train and like compete as in fitness. I just want to look good, feel good.
yeah,
Feel good if I'm healthy, and I'm better at soccer, which is confidence booster as well.
yeah.
But yeah, things are going well. Things are good.
It's like it's crazy that you're down to your ideal weight now. And like I'm looking at myself, and because I've been looking to get back into the gym, and I think my ideal weight's 180 pounds, and I'm 217 now, so I'm well over what my ideal weight is. But I don't know if I like being that small. Like I think 200 would be nice, but yeah, it's a whole mentality shift when you're thinking about it. Because like you said, it's a lot of nutrition.
It's all,
And
I would say
sleep.
it's 95% nutrition.
Yeah.
I used to train twice a day,
Mhm.
and I couldn't lose a pound. It's all diet. It's literally all diet, and you can't convince me otherwise. You could train twice a day, go home and eat a donut and a slice of pizza. You just wasted all
Your
that
whole
time
workout.
training. Yeah.
Yeah,
You just wasted all that time training. Everybody's different. Everybody can do different things. Some people do the keto diet and they enjoy it and they live by it. I'm a macro diet kind of guy. I follow 3 numbers: fats, proteins, and carbs. My
So
sister has a
fats, proteins, and carbs.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
all only numbers I focus on. And I went from 198 to 165.
Mhm.
I struggled to get from 165 to the 155. So when I got to 165, I plateaued, and then I started to fast. So I don't eat now until after I work out. So like 2 p.m.
Yeah,
and then I hit those macro numbers up until 10 p.m. and then every day is the same macro numbers, and I don't eat until I work out.
so what's that? It's like when you're on like 24/10 for the is it intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. So I do the fasting. So I fast, and then
So you stop at like a 9 or 8 or 7.
it's not that strict.
Oh, okay.
Like my
So-
macros, like if I want to have a drink,
Mhm.
we need alcohol.
Yes.
Some people need alcohol.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not an alcoholic, but it's fucking important.
It is important.
That shit's
right?
important. So I don't count that.
Yeah.
I need coffee to keep me going, keep me
Yeah.
running. I don't count it.
Yeah.
On the weekends, I kind of play around, like I have cheat meals, cheat days.
Yeah.
I'm not that strict with it.
Yeah.
It's taken me 3-4 years, but you don't have to be so strict.
I think that's the way to
You
go
don't
about
have to
it.
be so strict. If you're so strict, it's going to be a nightmare.
Mhm.
It's going to be a fucking nightmare.
I had my boy on here a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, and I was telling him the same thing about New Year's resolutions. How when I think of New Year's resolutions, I think in terms of November. I don't think in terms of January. Because if you're hitting your New Year's resolution, writing them down and starting them in January, you're already late.
Yeah, for me, my goals are similar to an extent every year. Like continue to read this many books, maybe read an extra book. But of course, like, if work is getting in the way, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Work's a huge priority. It's your income. Obviously, you want to train your brain and keep learning, and that's important too, right? But still devote time to reading and read what you can. You don't, if you can't read, for 10 minutes this day and the next day, then try and do it for 20 minutes the next day. But if you can't, don't kill yourself over it. Just try and really make it a habit. It's what it is. 23 days to make it a habit, and it's not easy.
No, definitely not.
I read a lot of books over the last 2 years, and a lot of the most successful people wake up at 5 a.m. For me, I don't need to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
No way.
They also go to bed really early too.
But I also go to bed pretty early.
Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And but like 5 a.m. Like I feel super lazy. I get everything done so quickly, and then extra, and then be like twiddling my feet. Like, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do now?
It's gonna fit you.
It depends. Like, it's good if you're crazy busy. Yes. I am crazy busy, but I can still do everything I need to do.
Yeah.
In the time frame, at like 7 a.m. is a good time to wake up. 6 a.m. is a great time to wake up. But 5 a.m. it's really tough. Yeah. It's really, really tough.
Yeah. I find like I haven't used an alarm clock in probably 9-10 years. I just kind of set my brain to when I'm going to wake up, and I wake up. But usually my body will wake up around 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Almost every day. And I find a big thing is that if I don't take advantage of the morning, like I never understood people who sleep in.
Yeah.
If I don't take advantage of the morning, I feel like my whole day is shot.
Yeah, it is. And for me it is. I feel like I'm in like rushing and not comfortable with the day.
No.
So if I wake up at 8:30, I'm mad at myself.
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself. That's late.
You and I have the same mind when it comes to that. Because even when I bartended, you finish work 2 o'clock, you clean the bar, you get home for 3:30. I'm still waking up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which is a detriment to my body because
Yes.
my work's part and parcel with the sleep, right, and the eat and nutrition. Sorry, work's part and parcel with the nutrition, especially when you're training. And I was training heavy then. I was, like I said, every day, right? So that was a detriment. But at the same token, I feel like to have the constant routine every morning just helps you cycle through things and get them off your list early.
Yeah.
So then the rest of the day you can have. That's kind of
because you can progress, right?
Yeah.
They say that you can do way more. You can talk to more people, talk to more clients, build a better network, stuff like that, which is great. Which is great. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying I don't.
Yeah, everyone has their own thing, man.
That's tough.
I wanted to ask you about the industry right now. My friends are now selling their houses early in order to get more money for them, even though they don't have a place to live yet, just so they can get the maximum value from their houses.
It's a tough market.
Yeah.
It's a tough market. A lot of people I'm working with right now prefer buying first because buying is a nightmare. Depends on the product you're buying.
Yeah.
Buying a condo, some areas have high inventory. If there's 500 listings in Mississauga and 10 listings in Vaughan, obviously it's much easier to buy in Mississauga. So, but people don't think that way, unless you're an investor.
Yeah.
Some people want specific areas and that's it. People aren't thinking outside, maybe we can live there for 5 years, do what we have to do, and then, like they did before.
Yeah.
People would buy in areas that, who the hell would move to Bolton?
Yeah.
Who the hell would move to Tottenham?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Now everyone.
Yeah.
Now everyone.
That's a commonality I've been hearing just in my travels. People moving to Prince Edward County and these kind of places and moving out of the city because the city's now become kind of a corpse.
The GTA is pretty consistent on pricing in terms of like semi-detached and detached. There are obviously always different pockets that will demand a higher value, but new builds, you're looking 1-2 plus at least for freehold. It's wild.
Is it realistic?
Really wild.
Is it realistic to think that you can buy in this city now, if you're a single person, without making
a condo? Well, it depends.
Like a house.
A little further north, maybe like almost like Dufferin.
Yeah.
Dufferin, maybe Black Creek. Those little pockets there might be able to find something.
Yeah.
But under 1-1, 1-2, they're not going to be pretty.
Expensive now,
they will not be pretty, bro.
Yeah.
They will not be nice.
I don't
like when I say not nice. you'll have to renovate and spend a bit, maybe at least $100,000 just to move in.
Just to move in.
Just to move in. It's not going to be nice here.
So they have to be basically fixer-uppers in order to get anything.
Most of the city is. A lot of it is older demographic, and a lot of those pockets, and they don't really renovate. They buy, they move in, and that's it.
Yeah.
And 20 years later, they sell their home and downsize and move north.
Yeah.
And that's why as soon as the pandemic happened, I was horrified. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to ruin everything. I just, my license, I've only had it for a year or two. I was worried. You're always worried when you're in a commission job. You're like, how the hell is when's my next paycheck going to come?
Yeah.
But the complete opposite happened. Rates were at the lowest they'd ever been. Everybody's like, oh my God, they're giving away free mortgages. If you can show income, they're giving you money. And people started buying and buying and buying and buying and competing with other people because none of homes around here. There's so many more people here than there are homes. There's not enough homes to support what's coming on top of what's already here. And there's kids that are trying to buy too, and they're like, I don't understand how I can't afford a home. I make this much money and I can't buy a home right now. I end up spending 1.3 on a semi-detached. Logically, a semi-detached should never be worth that much money, but it is. In New York, you don't even want to know what a semi-detached is worth. It's worth more.
Yeah.
It's worth more. It really depends on the pockets, of course. But gotta really move outside the city, man. If you want to find affordable housing, and hopefully one day there's a builder out there that's really looking to maybe take a bit of a pay cut and say, you know what, we don't need to make a wild profit this year. We just need to build affordable homes for people so they have somewhere to live.
Yeah.
That's not going to break the bank, and now they're just spending money on a mortgage and they can't really live their life.
Yeah.
That's what we find.
Do you think that's the reason why we see such a proliferation of condos here in the city?
It's almost like builders are just buying plots of land that are an acre and building 60 stories high.
Yeah.
And then they're going for 1,400 a square foot.
Yeah.
So if you have a 1,400 square foot condo, it's $1.4 million.
Oh my God.
So it's 1,400 square feet is a small semi-detached.
Yeah.
Even Burlington, some semis are going for 1.2, 1.3. Bolton, 1.1. Vaughan, 1.2, 1.3.
What
for
place is
semi-detached.
Etobicoke?
It depends. Like Aldershot, Etobicoke, you're looking for a gut at 1.3, 1.2. Lakeshore, same idea. Semi-detached, attached rows, you're looking 1.2 as well. It's nuts.
So gone are the days where my parents could when they bought a house for $250,000.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist anymore.
I think his room costs $250,000.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's so fucked up, man.
It's crazy,
It's
man.
unsustainable, man.
It is very...
properties can't go up 25% a year.
Yeah.
25%, 14%, 25%. Year over year, usually it's 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Depending on pockets, depending on demand, depending on the services in those cities. It's unsustainable, man.
Yeah.
It's unsustainable. It's wild. And interest rates are going to slowly go up next year. Bank of Canada's already talking about that. So that may affect things, but right now they're still super low.
Yeah.
Prices were 250, 100, 150. Rates were 15 to 20%, 25%. Now they're 2,
Yeah.
2.5. So people can still justify getting mortgages and not overpaying for houses, but competing with other buyers.
Yeah.
Spending 1.4 on a house in Burlington and commuting. I like to stay remotely local, but I need to be central because of my commutes. I have clients in Barrie, clients in Hamilton, clients in the city. So for me to go live in Pickering, that wouldn't make any sense.
No.
But of course, it costs money to live central. It costs a lot of money to live central. So I'm in Vaughan now. I love Vaughan.
Yeah.
The area. But we're probably gonna get out of Vaughan soon. It's a perfect location for me.
What would be ideal?
I grew up in Bolton. There's a project I'm looking at in Bolton. I'd like to
grew
get
up in
into.
Bolton.
Back there. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I know someone else.
But I just don't want to pay land transfer tax in the city.
Yeah.
I just don't want to spend $20,000 on nothing.
What is that?
I think I pay enough taxes.
What is that? called? What's that made up of? That tax?
What is land transfer tax made up of? I'm not too
You
sure.
positive?
I'm not too sure.
I
Let's
don't-
cancel that from the record.
Yeah, well,
Actually, I'm not sure.
You need to
You're paying a tax to live in a certain city.
Yeah, it's like, cause for instance, I grew up in Oshawa, so I can't really see much about you in Bolton, but property taxes are really high there. And it's really weird because there's no industry there. There's been no new industry in that city since I moved there. Like GM has been primary, and everything's a subsidiary of GM.
Yeah.
Whether it's Lear or whatever the case is, it's all something that stems from GM. And GM is not making, quote unquote,
Yeah,
the
the
best
volume isn't
cars.
as high. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you fall into a situation now where people are living there and then they're commuting to the city. Like my parents commuted into the city when I was young. They could never buy a house in the city,
Yeah.
even with their income. And they're like very, very stringent savers. And it just wasn't feasible. That's why they moved to Oshawa. And Oshawa was kind of up and coming. Now it's not so much up and coming. It's people know about Durham region now, right? It's pretty big.
Yeah, everyone's moving far east, far north, or far west.
Yeah,
They're almost not affordable now.
yeah,
That's how much demand has been pushed away from the city, from people being scared of the pandemic.
yeah,
That's kind of where the logic's gone. It's gone. Yeah, okay, let's just leave the city. Less population, less problems, less chance of getting sick. This and that. Cheaper homes, not anymore.
yeah,
Not anymore. Hamilton, you might be able to find some good pockets, but older homes.
yeah,
Built in 1950s, 1960s. But we're competing with buyers. The rates are still too low. Still a high demand population that wants to buy. People that come here need to live.
yeah,
People that are here that live with their parents. Maybe they're getting married. They need to buy something.
yeah,
People are renting because they can't afford to save up enough of a down payment to purchase. But typically, you really only need 5% if you can carry, a mortgage
Where the
and
mortgage is,
talk to a mortgage broker. But anything under 20%, you pay CMHC, which is a tax, and that can be extensive sometimes.
If you pay
Really
over,
tax. If you pay over 20% or 20%,
yeah,
then you forfeit the tax. You don't have to worry about the tax. But
mm,
that tax can be substantial,
yeah.
in like thousands.
Are you finding that a lot of people aren't using what they call home inspectors anymore? They're going straight through just so they can
It depends.
cut cost.
If the property is having an offer presentation, which means they're just kind of setting it up for bidding war.
Yeah,
I'll list the property on Thursday, and then next Wednesday we're gonna have an offer presentation, and everybody that's shown between those 6 days
mhm,
will submit an offer, and I'll give them a layout on how to lay that offer out. Not in terms of the content of the offer, but more so what my clients might be looking for
yeah,
to kind of guide them through that. If that's not happening, or say they do offer presentations, they maybe not get the number they want because they're listed at $999. Maybe they want 125,
yeah,
so they don't get that number. Now they've, instead of just raising the price, maybe they terminate the listing, and then they'll just start a whole new listing at $1,250,000. That now has less demand, different price bracket, maybe different buyers, less traction. Now maybe you can get a home inspection on that property.
yeah,
But if you're going in and you have a home inspection on your offer and there's 10 offers, would you accept one if there was 9 other offers that had no home inspection and no financing, but one had a home inspection? What would you do? That you probably wouldn't even look at that.
yeah. It's easier.
Unless the price was $100,000 more.
Yeah,
And then you have to take into consideration, is what they're paying for this home going to be appraised at that value?
mhm,
Because if it comes back less, say the appraiser, the bank is going to say, we're going to lend you, $1 million. Let's do an appraisal. So they go to the property, they do an appraisal, and it's one of the lending conditions. And they say, you know what, this property is worth $950 based on the comparable sales. You've overpaid $50,000. Guess who has to come up with that money on closing? The buyer.
mhm,
If the buyer that can't come up with that money on closing, they better find a way to get that money on closing, or they're losing their deposit. The deposit could be anything. Usually
Yeah.
it's 5%, and that's a lot of money. It's tough. It's tough. You have to have a smart agent to tell you when not to go into something.
yeah,
If you're gonna overpay for something, if everything's selling for 1.2 and you're about to pay 1.4 for a property, if an agent tells you to do that, the agent's an idiot.
yeah,
The agent should not be an agent, because if you can't close, nobody gets paid, you don't get paid, you look like an idiot, and you're probably getting sued.
yeah,
So don't And like, it's not about the money, it's about helping people.
Yeah.
Because if it's ridiculous. Some agents are like really pushing boundaries right now. The ethics in real estate are fucking vacant. They don't exist.
Don't they have a governing body as well?
They have RICO.
Okay.
And RICO's just flooding with complaints the last 2 years.
Yeah, I guess they're overwhelmed now.
Overwhelmed with complaints right now. I'm not even sure I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah.
This is kind of...
I mean, we could edit it.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably public knowledge, right? No?
Yeah. But like, it's tough. There's a lot of agents that should not be agents.
Yeah.
Most agents are part-time.
Yeah.
So imagine you're trying to get a deal done with an agent who has a 9 to 5, and then you can't get a hold of them for any questions you have for your clients, and your clients are like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I don't know, the agent's just not getting back to me, and I can only get you so much information without him. So that it can get tricky. There's so many different ways to like get information, but sometimes you can only get so much.
Yeah.
And I like to communicate. I like to have like dialogue with agents, talk to them, kind of develop almost like a little rapport, like we're working together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you and I worked together, it was fun to work on bar because we had a good rapport and communicated and we understood each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of agents are like, they don't like communicating. It's just like, just submit your offer, best offer wins. We'll call you if your number's good, to maybe resubmit a better offer if you're competing with 2 others. It's a bit messy.
Yeah.
It's a bit messy, and a lot of buyers can't really wrap their head around why are we listing at $999 and expecting 1.3, and it's tough. Like I work with clients that are like, but it's listed at $999. Why don't we just offer $99? I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
Like everything around here is selling for 1.3. Market value is 1.3.
So
List price is just a figure of imagination. It's a figure of imagination.
Yeah.
It's just a number they put to get you in the door to see the property.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you fall in love with the property, or you like the property, you like the area, then all of a sudden, now you're paying $300,000 over asking. It's not that you're overpaying for the property. It's that you're paying market value. That's market value.
Yeah.
But you don't see market value. You see a list price. So you're like, oh my god, $799.
Yeah.
Anybody lists at $799.
Yeah.
If you're listing a detached home for $799, you should be fined. If you're listing a detached home for $899, you should be fined.
Yeah.
I think there should be a small gap that you can underlist the property for market value.
Yeah.
A very, very small gap. People, it's ridiculous what it's turning into.
Yeah.
One agent listed a property for $1, and it wasn't like a power of sale or,
The thought process behind that is to drive traffic into the home, or to ask people to ask themselves the question, why would it be this low?
I didn't see the property.
Yeah.
I just heard about it and it just annoyed me.
Yeah, as it should.
I moved on from that
Yeah.
point. I didn't even look further into it, but it just shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
And I can see why buyers are frustrated.
Yeah.
I can totally see why buyers are frustrated. Because of course, like, I'm looking to buy.
Yeah.
And it's tough to, how do I tell Sylvia that, it's not worth that, it's worth this.
Yeah.
Why the hell do they do that? That's the industry.
It's a
tricky industry.
That's also any form of bartering or striking up a deal. Like even when I tell my girlfriend the same thing, I'm like, something's listed at this price. You give them a price that's lower, but not too low to offend them.
Exactly.
And then you'll meet them in the middle. So the price that you think that you'll get it at is the price that you should go lower than, but not too low.
Exactly. There's a barrier.
Yeah.
If you go in with a low ball, sellers will say, screw this guy, I'm gonna make him pay more now.
Yeah.
If he wants the house, I'm gonna make him pay more.
Yeah.
So there's almost a vendetta if you lowball someone. It's like you go in at $920 and the house is worth $1 million. Unless it's like market value is $920, don't submit $920.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruin yourself and have to pay $995 if you want it.
Yeah.
Come in at a decent number, $965, $970, and work it out.
Yeah.
Be reasonable about it. Be logical. Don't try and, don't make them feel uncomfortable about their sale. It's going to be worse for you. If you want to get a discount, you get a small discount. Like I understand everybody wants to save money. Everybody needs to save money right now.
Yeah.
I understand. I get it. It's more damaging to local.
So off that point,
unless inventory is ridiculously high.
Yeah.
But right now, it's
not.
It's just a waste of time.
Yeah. Off that point, everyone needing to save. The purpose of this whole channel, blog, whatever, the whole encapsulated gentleman's guidebook is to basically teach men different lessons on different things.
Yeah.
You're the first real estate agent I've had on here.
Thank you.
If you're my guy, so like, I mean, I have guys in different regions, but like, you're my guy within the city because I know you and I trust you, and that's in your particular vocation. Just like in mechanics, real estate agents, mechanics, and there's another one. It escapes me right now. Accountants, another one. Mm-hmm. To find someone you really, really trust who's going to give you the actual truth and give you the real, and not what they can do to gouge you and make money off of you. It's very, very difficult. Mm-hmm. So when you find good people, that's why I always try to nurture good relationships. Yeah. I believe that your presence should edify you. You should never edify yourself. So always treat everybody how you want to be treated, because you don't want people.
I think the whole world forgot that one rule in life.
During this time,
others as you. I was actually like, that's like one of my favorite quotes is treat others how you want to be treated. Yeah. I think everybody's forgotten what that means. Everybody's just so mad at each other and mad at everything, and it's scary. What's happening right now?
Absolutely
it's scary.
It's just very polarizing right now.
Yeah, it really, really is sad.
If I was, let me get back to the question, and then we'll go back to that because I actually want to get back to that as well. Mm-hmm. If I was now entering real estate, mm-hmm. what would you tell me as my OG? If I was a young guy coming up in the game and be like, I want to get into this because I see money, I see value, and I go more so for the value, because if you're chasing the dollars, which I was when I was doing my life insurance, mm-hmm. one no means make or break for my month, mm-hmm. and because you're feeling pressure from your heads to hit certain criteria or certain benchmarks, you feel an extra source of, and I was young when I was doing this, mind you, but like you feel a little more, it hits you harder. Yeah. So like, what would you say would be the plan for a young person just getting in, how to structure their day, their studying, and how to
I would essentially tell them to kind of mask the things that I've done when I was started. So just like read, work, like focus on yourself, focus on you, focus on your goals. I think focus is huge for success. Mm-hmm. If you want something, you got to really focus on what you need to do, different avenues on how to get to the top. Do what the best do. If you see a top agent, follow them, read about them, see their posts, see how they interact, see how they post videos, how they market, how they list properties. Do what the best do. Mm-hmm. Live the way the wealthy do. Read books on how people who were dead broke are now millionaires. Read books on success, on people that have suffered and now, you know, are happy with who they are and their life. I think a lot of those things will really like help guide you to be the person to be successful. Mm-hmm. You know, reading is the number one thing for me. Yeah. I think like it's 15 books. It doesn't. I feel like I don't read enough actually. Yeah. But when you say that number, you actually put in your perspective. Wow, I actually did read a lot. Yeah. But like 10 minutes a day, man. 10 minutes a day, and you learn so much from reading, especially success stories and ways to live successfully and live, you know, be a happy person when you die. Yeah. There's a lot of lessons in these books. Yeah. And teach a lot of value. They teach a lot of value. For me, you know, I would say focusing a lot on that. If someone calls you and they need something, right away, man. Right away. It's like someone asks you for a drink at the bar, make the drink right now, as fast as you can. Similar motto for me. We were in service for a long time. Yeah. So if a chick came up, I'm like, okay, how fast can I make this drink? Yeah. You make it as fast as you can. Put it there, and then when the girls come and get it, bring it to the table, they're like, holy shit, this is done already. I'm like, yeah, what do you think? I was gonna wait till tomorrow to make it. No, it's ready. I'm done. But like that's kind of how I run the business. And you also have to think that it is your business. So if you can help people beyond just service, that's huge too. Yeah. You know, sometimes there's a gap between what the buyers want, what the sellers want, and sometimes you have to find ways to make deals happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it has to happen on every single deal, but if you make a seller happy, they'll use you again. So do whatever you have to do to get the deal done.
Yeah.
And it's not about getting the deal for you. It's about saving them money or helping them get more money, but to an extent that's reasonable with the sellers as well. That's not going to, get them not to close, or the whole system has to come together. And my job is to make sure that system is logical, realistic, but makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
And that's eventually over time you get used to that. When you pump out a decent amount of volume, you learn how to be successful and ways that work. These ways are working for me.
Okay.
So I wouldn't really change it. I would actually encourage it.
When I started serving, my OG, Randy, he's now the GM of Scarborough Jacks, but he always told us, all the new people who were coming in at that particular time, is like, listen, you have the opportunity to make a lot of money here. The biggest piece of advice I can give you right now is to save 10% of what you make and put it aside. Don't ever touch it. Now, I didn't take that advice at the time. It's like, you're young and you're making what, $200, $250 a night.
Yeah.
Sometimes $300 a night. You're staking your ball in out because you're young, right? We just talked about going to clubs and stuff before. Now that completely doesn't now mesh with who we are now as people. But what would you say as a person independently working for themselves, how to structure financially, how they should be dealing with things, especially with something that's like commission based?
So I would break it up. So whatever you make in your commissions, put away your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And if your personal income tax, then you want to put away a good amount. Maybe,
Yeah.
25, 30, maybe 50% of your income. So say you're making 20K, put 10K aside for taxes, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case. When you get into the bigger tax brackets, you want to put a little bit more, right? Then with commissions, we also get paid HST. So take the HST portion, put that away as well.
Mm-hmm.
So add that to your half, to your 50%. So 63% essentially. Put 63% away. Okay.
And that's just taxes alone.
That's taxes alone.
Okay.
On top of that, you want to put a little bit away for savings, for RSP, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there goes another. So now on a $20,000 deal, you see yourself making $5,000.
Okay.
Okay. So because you want to divvy the money up, you want to also help money make money. You want to make money, your money make money. So you got to be smart with your money. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're good with money.
Yeah.
So talk to people, talk to financial advisors, people who can help you with that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius, financially in terms of like, I'm gonna put my money in this stock, this and that mutual fund, this. There's professionals for that.
Yeah.
There's professionals for real estate that, I don't even trust half the real estate agents, but like, there are good ones.
Yeah.
There are good ones that will help you. It's not about the money. When people see the daggers in your eyes on the paycheck, they can tell. They can tell. It's not about the money anymore. Yeah, I love what I do. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great though. Like it's comfortable. I'm very, very, very lucky, very happy. I picked something, I moved on with something that this is the best decision I ever did.
Are you familiar with the term pay yourself first?
I do pay myself first.
Okay.
I do pay myself first. I like paying myself. I like buying things.
Yeah.
I struggle, like when I go to, before I used to go to like super nice stores.
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But and I would see these prices of things, and I'd be like, why the hell is someone spending this money on this?
Yeah.
How the hell is that purse $10,000? How? Who made it?
Yeah.
Who made this purse?
Yeah.
And then you start to see the value in those things.
Yeah.
You start to see the value in those things. First of all, some of our investments. You buy a Rolex worth way more now tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you get a Rolex right now, you can sell it for more tomorrow.
Yeah.
Investment.
It's funny you said that. I was listening to a podcast today, and it was an R&B singer, and he was saying, he invested in a nice car, and cars are a depreciating asset, but the amount of business he got from riding in that car, and connections he's made that's made him more money, it's paid for the car tenfold.
Yeah.
Especially in a business like yours. I remember watching.
What is it? Make it until you
fake it till you make
fake
it.
it till you make it. And it's honest to God, there's truth to that.
Yeah,
there is truth to that.
Absolutely. There's the movie's called American Beauty.
Okay.
an actor we don't mention anymore, Kevin Spacey. But in that movie, his wife is the character playing his wife is a real estate agent, and the whole thing was the car, and then she was struggling to be in real estate, but she was trying to project that lifestyle in order to increase her profile.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any
There's truth to it. There's truth to it.
Yeah.
There's truth to it. If you're going to show a $5 million house and you haven't met the clients and you're driving a Honda Civic from 1990, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
If your car's rattling and you're going to to an offer or a listing presentation and you're going to list this house that's worth $1.5 million and your car's rattling on the way there, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
They're going to use the guy with the Porsche or the BMW. There's a stigma in real estate. People might not agree with it, but I just being in it, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that the best car will get you the best listings. It's not how it works. You have to be able to communicate and talk and understand value and understand what people need and all that kind of stuff. But it definitely helps. It definitely helps. And you don't need a Porsche 911. It's nothing like that. It's more so just a good car as long as the car's clean. If you're going to showings, don't show up and don't go. Don't take your car on in land and dirt and get it all dirty. Yeah, don't go off-roading. But for the most part, yeah, keep your car clean. Make sure it's for the most part, I would get a newer car, a decent car.
Yeah.
A respectable car. For the most part, when you get into the heavy hitting and the 10 million, 5, 10, $20 million homes, you really do need a decent car.
Yeah.
You really do. A decent watch. You need to be clean cut. I see some agents, they're just slobs.
Yeah.
And it just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I've always liked to dress decently and stay clean, and I get my haircut once a week.
Yeah, you were like.
I go once a week to the barber every Friday. Go see my boy Dom. I get my hair cut. He lives around the corner from me. I'm like, thank God he's so close. So I go upstairs every Thursday or Friday morning, and I'm like, Dom, same thing. And 52 weeks a year, man.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good.
Yeah,
it makes me feel good. I look okay. I go to the showings. I feel good. I'm more confident. I'm able to answer. I'm more sharp. I'm sharp.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It means a lot. People see that you're confident. People see that you like it, that you're happy, that you're enjoying it, that you're happy with yourself, and that goes so far. That goes so far in business.
Yeah.
In business itself, not just real estate. In all business.
Yeah.
Like if you're sluggish, it's not a good look.
I find that in all aspects of everything in life. I find the person who's more of a live wire, engaging, you can tell they take some personal pride in what they're doing.
Yeah.
That goes a long way in terms of how people view you. It's like first impressions. People say you never get a first impression back.
Yeah.
And you always want to have the best first impressions, because if it's bad once,
it's
word of mouth being what it is.
It takes a lot to get it back.
Yes.
It takes a lot to get it back. And we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. You're never gonna have like 100% success on first impressions. But if you smile, you look them in the eyes, shake their hand, and you have and you're kind, then I think that's a good first impression.
Yeah. It's funny. You said 3 things there, and it reminded me of 3 different books that have something to do with all those things. But that is so paramount. Posture, shaking of hands.
I'm not sitting like the most posture.
No, whatever.
Now, we're just chilling.
We're lounging, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
I'm surprised there's no ottoman to put it. No.
The shaking of hands, eye contact, posture, speaking clearly, confidence in what you're saying.
Yeah.
All these things work part and parcel in life as well as in business, right? And I find a lot of people fall to that. I would have learned that stuff, those things, without reading.
Yeah.
And those are just things that I had a curiosity about.
Yeah.
But it's funny when you said that these purses and all these things being what they are. I had staff here last week, and I remember we were on our way to Sam's Cottage, September 2017. You were there.
I was
at the cottage. On our way there, we saw a car, and it wasn't an extravagant car. I think it was like a Toyota Corolla or something. But we were having a good conversation on the way there, and it always stuck with me. That's how I always knew that you guys would be my boys for a lifetime after our first outing as a boys' night.
Yeah.
You, me, Yannick, Steph, Sam. It was just a very, very cohesive group of friends I've never really experienced that with at any job I've ever had. But in that particular conversation, you say, this person had to work this amount of years in order to afford that car. I never really looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Because if you look at something like, if I was to, so for me, I know I roughly make $25 to $35 an hour, right? And if I go out and I pay for something, like fast food, for instance, if I go buy like Wendy's for $12, I'm like, okay, well, that's like 20 minutes. I had to work 20 minutes for that.
Yeah.
And when you think about, I mean, it's a complete buzzkill, but when you think of things like that, it adds value to your dollar.
It's
what
perspective.
You're spending. Yes. That one concept is like basically spearheaded my whole way of thinking, even in terms of where I want to live. Because I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna live here. My girlfriend, have her tell it she wants to live Bathurst and Finch still. There's nothing for me at Bathurst and Finch. I don't really care for the food. Like, there's nothing really going on down there, right? I'd much rather just be in the wilderness by myself, like with a log cabin or whatever the case is, right? But I mean, you make these allowances for people you're with, so I'm sure we'll find a happy medium, right? But
you have to compromise.
Yeah,
I don't do everything I want to do all the time, but I do with a smile on my face. And there's ways to stand.
Yeah, you can't pinch pennies when it comes to that, but you should also understand the value of a dollar.
Yes,
because it is so important.
It is very, very important. Yes.
When we went to work at the last place we worked at, bartending before the pandemic, our whole goal in our mind was, listen, we're not here to hang out. We'll make friends. Let's make the money we have and go home.
And then we'll go. Because
we're not here. If we get free drinks after work, we'll sit and have a free drink. We're not here to spend money, spending everything we just earned doing this. And you being the 8th person I've had from the service industry here, I don't think there's, like I said, everyone that's been on here has been in the service industry at some point in their life. It's a great stepping stool to learning the lessons you need to learn in order to be an individual person.
Yeah, like branch off and do your own thing and be successful doing it.
But it's one of those things you have to be cognizant of it, or else you'll have no money. And most people that come through here, let's say they were in the service industry at some point, don't ever want to go back. Yeah. It's like, I found myself spinning my wheels. Yeah. And you only find yourself spinning your wheels because you're young. And when you get this amount of money, no one's there telling you how to spend the money, to save the money. And for those people telling you that, you're like, oh, they're much older, so they're like, I'm not really interested in what you have to say, because
what do they say?
You have your life. You've had your life. I'm not having my life. You know what I mean?
What do they say? It's like you're an average of the 5 people you hang out with. Mm-hmm. So that's your salary. Yeah. So like, just think about it. If you're hanging out with guys who are making $500,000, chances are you'll do things they do. You'll hang out with them. You'll network with people that they network with. All of a sudden, you're making $500,000. Yeah. But if you're networking with people that don't, then you're kind of just moving along with the same crowd that might not be doing that kind of volume. It's like, who you hang out with definitely matters.
So have you found that you've had to disconnect from people as you made your journey in real estate?
No, I'm
open
arms, bro.
Yeah.
I'll never ever stop talking to my boys. Mm-hmm. I don't care what they think.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. They're my boys. For me, that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. In fact, I want to work so hard that I want to give everyone everything. I want to maybe have a house and then they can all come and just enjoy themselves with me.
Yeah.
But I would never discontinue a friendship because of that. Mm-hmm. Never. No fucking way. No way. Okay, listen to this. If you're rich and have no friends, would you rather be rich?
No.
Exactly.
It's lonely.
You're lonely as hell.
It's always been my thing.
I'd rather be poor with friends than rich and no friends.
So when we talk about winning the lottery back in high school, the concept was always funny to listen to how everybody delineated what they're going to do with the money. But my thing was always the same. Like, I told my friends, I'd pay for all your mortgages. It's your biggest expense. And once your mortgages are paid off, you have more time to now hang out, break bread, chill. One of the biggest things I love about the group of friends I have now is one person will just buy a bunch of food and cook. And then we all just go over there for dinner. And it's he cooks for everybody.
That's amazing.
And that we just break. We don't. It's not like you owe me this or I owe you that or you did this for me.
It's a goodness thing.
It's that mentality is really a defeatist mentality.
Yeah.
You shouldn't ever. It's like when I drive. If I let somebody in, they don't say thank you, whatever. I didn't let you in for you to say thank you to me. I let you in because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
So if you say thank you, it's a bonus.
It's a bonus. Good manners.
Yeah. If you don't, then whatever. I keep it pushing. But that mentality is not always perpetuated in.
It's not instilled in many
people.
It needs to be more.
Definitely, I find it's most
Please and
ingrained.
thank you got lost with the do unto others as I would have them do to me.
Yeah, I find with because you're Italian, I'm Jamaican. Like in European culture, my girlfriend's Greek. European culture and Caribbean culture are very, very similar. How we value grandparents and we go about our day, and breaking bread and eating food at dinner time is very, very important. Family get-togethers, they're a must. When my parents were still living here, it was every Sunday. And you might not be able to make it every Sunday, but at least you know there's somewhere to go every Sunday where food is cooked and people will be there. So it's almost like a drop-in, you know? You don't know who's going to be there, right? Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm always trying to cultivate with my friends as well. That they should know that if they need me, I'm there. I hate moving people from places. I do not like moving, okay? It's one of my pet peeves. And a producer here is he's same mind, right? We do not like doing it. But have a good friend ask you to do it, and I won't even think twice. I'll just do it. That's my mentality.
Yeah.
You know, and things get done a lot faster when there's more hands involved.
Yeah. I value good people too.
Yeah.
It's not every day you meet good people. I've met so many good people in restaurants.
Yeah.
On top of the continued relationship I have with guys I grew up with, like in early childhood, it is tough to kind of stay in contact with everybody.
Yeah.
But I try to make the effort.
Yeah.
I try to make the effort as much as I can. If a bunch of my buddies are getting together, I like to be there.
Yeah.
I like to be there, and more than just for Christmas.
Yeah.
I like to be there. It's good for networking, but it's also good to stay in contact. They're your friends. Like I do business with some of them too. Like a lot of them are my clients now.
Yeah.
So like there's not only incentive, but they're your friends.
Yeah.
They're good people and they're fun to be around and gets your mind off kind of everything that's going on. And I value my friends a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Friends, family is huge.
When you're on your journey, like, I asked you that question for one particular reason, because there's people on my journey that have been close friends of mine, but whether it's the same mentality you have with the 5 people you have in your life, if you're not benefiting where I'm looking to go, and you're not only not benefiting, but you're a detriment to that, my biggest thing has been to assess why I have you around.
Yeah.
And for you, it's a little different because I've seen you with your boys from back home and a lot of people you've met along the way. For me, I've actually had to cut people out because it's like, are you a drag on my personality? Yeah. Are you making it a lot more difficult for me to progress in life because I'm hampered now by you? And that's, especially now with a girlfriend who I intend to marry at some point, it's like, I don't want even her to be in concert with some of the people I was hanging around before. Yeah. And I'm like, well, why is that? Are these people that I should be hanging around all the time? But most other guys, she hears about all the time. She's never met you. She knows a lot about you. Like, she knows about Sam. And Sam and I have our whole hate-love relationship. He's very, very frustrating to me. But like Stefano and all
I love Sam.
Yeah.
I think I love Sam.
I love Sam as much as I hate Sam.
I love Sam.
I
love Sam. He's a client now.
Yeah.
So everything he's done to piss me off has been thrown underground.
Yeah, he's a good person. That's.
But he's lovable.
Yeah,
he's lovable.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's why I asked you that question, because.
I think he's tuned in.
Huh? Oh, he's definitely tapped in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I see Sam. I talk to Sam every day. I see Sam once a week.
What do you see Sam?
Sam and I, we watch football games on Thursdays. He's not there every week. We talk.
Oh, he comes. Yeah.
We're in contact now. I'm in contact with all my boys from local except for Yannick, and I understand Yannick. He's a family man.
It's tough.
He's got 2 kids. He doesn't live in the city anymore, and he's got a wife. Man.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So it's he always tries his best to make it out for the bartender gatherings around this time. I don't know how sustainable that will be now with some of us gone elsewhere because of this whole pandemic thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's
changed course in a lot of lives for sure.
Big time, man. Big time.
Changed course, man.
And the polarization, like you said, is
I think it's mentally deteriorating people.
Oh, it's complete draining.
Yeah. I think there's more damage mentally than the sickness itself, but that's just me. But
Yeah.
I think we've just eventually got to move on.
Yeah.
Eventually got to move on.
What does that even look like? That's the biggest thing.
Fuck, don't ask me that question.
I have no idea what that looks like.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It seems like a lifetime ago.
we're not doctors. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, that's
I've had it.
the big key.
It is what it is.
You've had it? You've had it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad?
A lot of people had it.
Yeah.
Half the country's had it.
I think I probably had it. I didn't
Yeah.
realize I had it
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
People have their opinions on it. I respect their opinions. If you want to do this, I love you. If you want to do that, I still love you. I don't give a shit. I don't care. It's not up to me to get mad at you because of your political opinions.
Yeah.
I've always kind of tried to stay away from that political conversation. It's not good for business either.
No.
So, they tell you not to talk about certain things when you're trying to start a business. Religion, it's politics, and there's a couple others, but those two for sure.
What do you do when clients do?
Pardon me?
What do you do when clients do?
When they, say if there's scared, we have to wear a mask. Yeah, we all have to wear masks anyway, stuff like that. But
in terms of religion and politics in particular?
It doesn't really come up.
Yeah, it
doesn't really come up too often. If someone's seeing a property, they're in the back of their head, they're not thinking about why they're Catholic.
Yeah.
So, so it's just it's not a topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try and develop kind of a similarity in characteristics that we might share together. Maybe if they have a hockey sticker or NHL Leaf sticker on their car, or they're Italian, maybe they're a soccer fan or whatever. Just try and build some sort of rapport with them and relationship with them, and then the whole thing just blends much easier. And then you can start asking a little bit tougher questions, more so personally, but not overwhelming to the point where they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's a balance. There's a balance in communication that I've kind of started to figure out. I was a little bit different before. I would just go off tangents and say shit I shouldn't say, but now I've just I've just kind of eased it, and if you don't have something good to say, don't say it at all. So I try not to say shit I shouldn't say. If I do, it's at home.
So do you have a referral team, like a mortgage broker?
Yeah, I got one of my best friends is a real estate lawyer.
Okay, really?
Yeah, my boy Duke is a real estate lawyer. He's been very successful, and he's doing really well. So any questions, he's on dial, man.
Mm-hmm.
Him. I've got a few buddies, very, very close friends, guys I grew up with. I love them all. They're all, a lot of them mortgage brokers, a lot of them are contractors, investors. I have a very good network of good people.
It's good to throw business back.
I would say there's so many different avenues that I have in terms of just being able to have the support I need to make sure everything's just smooth as hell.
Yeah.
Home inspectors, now it's, home inspectors, they're only needed, maybe 25% of the time. So, but for the most part, we do have good home inspectors, good stagers, good cleaners. My mom cleans all my houses. I don't know anybody that cleans better than my mom.
Yeah.
So every time I have a listing, Ma, I need you this time, this date, I pay her substantially more than market value.
Yeah.
To make sure she's taken care of. And that's it.
That's good, because that's almost
it.
chicken two
One
boxes.
of my boys, my boy Brandon, he does my real estate photography. But there are other great companies that I've used before that I'll use again. When the volume gets super high, and the volume is super high, but it's a balance of buying and selling right now. So I can give all the love to the people that I love right now.
Yeah. When you sell a house, do you often do because it's like almost a double feature, double whammy. When you sell a house for somebody, and then you help them buy the next house.
So generally speaking, I'm willing to work on numbers if you're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a very negotiable person.
Yeah.
If I'd rather have you as a client than lose you as a client.
Yeah.
So I work that out, and whatever works for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody knows what market value is. I try and take care of people. I try and help them. Not everybody can pay 5% for real estate. So it's and the seller pays all the commission. The seller pays all the commission. Buyers, if you sell your house, you're going to pay a commission that you and the listing agent agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
That say it's 5%, just hypothetically, which is pretty standard. That would be paid from the seller to the listing brokerage. On closing, the listing brokerage will pay the listing agent, then they'll pay my brokerage if I'm the buyer, and then the buyer's agent will get paid. So the buyer's agent is the last person to get paid always on a deal.
Yeah.
But initially, it's always seller pays full pop on commission, and then buyers are paid all in commission. It's all closing fees they pay.
So the whole process from thought process, I need a new home, to closing on a home, how long does that usually take? I know it can vary depending
60,
on
90 days.
60,
Well, like when you buy a house, usually closing 60, 90 days on average. But obviously you need to be pre-approved. Otherwise we put a financing condition on it, like a 5-6 days financing condition on it. But typically you want to be proactive and know how much you can afford before you start submitting offers on a property.
Yeah.
So typically, you get a mortgage approval, say it's $1 million. So we submit an offer, we get the deal done $975, and there's a closing date on the offer, and you close whenever that is. Say it could be 60, 90 days, and you meet with the lawyer a few days prior to that, sign the paperwork and everything, and then once the funds are transferred over to the seller on closing, then you get the keys, you get the lockbox code, and got your home.
I'm gonna hit you with all my real estate questions right now. What do you see the benefits of real estate agent versus self-sale, or pitfalls, either or?
I noticed that a lot of people who sell their own homes don't know what market value is.
Oh, okay.
They're emotionally invested into their property. A lot of the times it's stubborn. They're really stubborn. It's tough to negotiate with. They could be listed, like I've seen some that are listed $200,000 over market value. This guy's never selling.
Yeah.
I've tried to reach out to them, and it tends to be a lot of the similar characteristics of people.
Yeah.
Of just stubborn, tough to deal with. You don't even want them as clients anyways.
So would that be akin to like, I guess it would be pretty similar to like, for instance, say you were a football player and you were your own agent, but you don't have that agent as a mediator between the two parties.
Sometimes it depends on the agent too, right?
Yeah.
Some people probably had really bad agents that really destroyed the way they look at real estate agents and never want to work with a real estate agent again. But there are agents that'll do it for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
They obviously kind of screw with the industry a bit.
Yeah.
But you get what you pay for. It really is. You want to buy a Chanel purse, you're gonna spend $3,000, but it's gonna be a wicked fucking purse. Or if you go to Walmart and you buy a $15 purse, the purse won't last very long. The quality from each is substantially different. So if someone's charging 5%, they better be a top agent. I don't typically charge 5%. I think 5% is a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a top agent. I do well. I just take care of people if they can't do this, and I'm very, very fucking reasonable.
Yeah.
It's just not, I'd rather have someone as a client that I like than not have them as a client at all, because I wanted to charge them too much money. So I don't work that way.
Have you ever turned
That's
away?
not how successful business works.
Yeah. Have you ever turned a client away based on just not being a fit?
I almost did recently.
Yeah.
Because it was really tough what they wanted. Like, this isn't unrealistic. I'm never gonna get this. And I said, I'll do your price for 1 week. So we listed their price for 1 week, 6 showings, no offers. And then I'm like, okay guys, let's drop the price to this, what I said, and let's see how it goes. So we dropped it substantially, and we got, I think, 20 or 25 showings in a week. So 5 times more showings. And eventually a buyer came through from realtor.ca, because we market on Realtor. And I showed them the property twice, and they ended up using me to buy it. So I double-ended the deal.
What's that mean, double-ended?
So I helped the buyer and the seller.
Okay, perfect. That's what
But I took care of both of them to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. They wanted an unrealistic number. I knew that, but I thought I could do it.
Yeah.
And I did it.
That's dope.
I'm surprised I did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get this? And I did it.
So what's the goal? Do you see yourself doing this throughout your life? Is this gonna be it?
I like this, man. It's not work.
Yeah.
I open doors and answer questions, bro.
Yeah.
Open doors.
What got you to this point, man? I know you said that you just like talked to his veto.
You gotta go through hell, bro.
You But to make the transition, because you were very comfortable in the service industry at one point.
I was going down a dark path in the service industry.
And that's what
at the end of it.
That's what you decided
at the end
to
of
change.
Yeah, there was, I had dark relationships. Things were getting dark.
Yeah.
So, the wine was just not enough, and then the focus was set.
Yeah.
Once I started to study and progress with my tests, that's when things started to like open up for me, and I really like dug myself deep, man. I was fucking dead broke at one point.
Yeah.
Dead broke. I was broke.
Yeah.
Pennies. And
what was your thought process when you were in that moment?
I have no idea. How the hell I'm gonna get out of this.
Yeah.
And then when I started studying with the real estate, I started setting in that things are going well. I'm gonna eventually get this. The first year was real tough. I got knocked down a lot the first year. Like a lot of just wasted time, getting screwed over in a couple deals. Didn't really make much my first year. Second year was good. Third year was amazing.
That's dope, man.
Yeah. Things have been good.
Damn. Well.
Is this it?
I mean, it doesn't have to be it.
Oh.
Do you have more you want to say?
I'm good, bro.
What we do every week, we missed it last week with Steph, but I like to tell men out there a piece of advice. I know you dropped a couple of gems today.
Yeah.
For me personally, when I watch interviews like this, or anything in life, any conversation where I have with someone I respect, or even people I don't respect, I like to try to get a little nugget of what they have to carry on with me further on in life.
Don't get discouraged, because life is not supposed to be easy. Shit is hard, but you just gotta push through. You gotta take the punches, because there's always light on the other side. The more punches you take, the better it feels in the end. If you're an entrepreneur trying to get into real estate or open up a business, it's not easy. You really have to work hard, and it's really tough. It's really mentally draining, but it's always worth it if you treat people right. They will always come back to you if you treat them right. Take care of people, they'll take care of you. I think that's
perfect, man. For mine, I'm gonna actually piggyback on something that you had said earlier, but treating everyone as not as you would like to be treated, but just generally as a good person, to doing the right things, right, and doing things that are right for people to see, for public consumption. It's what you know inside that makes things correct. So whatever, if you're being taught with good morals and ethics throughout life, whatever the case is, and you know right from wrong, and you want to see people progress in life, have that in your mind and your heart rather than thinking of the dollar, because the dollar comes and goes. But those relationships, I'll tell you right now, word of mouth, bad news travels far, far faster and quicker than good news. Not a lot of people will edify you in life, but if you do something bad and wrong them, they'll definitely tell everyone they know that it was you who did it. So that's something you should go on and think about for your future. This is a new segment I have right now. This is the premiere of this new segment. Not that particular part. So we've talked about a lot of books today, and people have asked me for my book list. Right now I'm trying to work through Nipsey Hussle's book list, which is very, very extensive. But I bought 2 books today. As you can see, they're dog-eared, and they have a bunch of...
those are the ones that have the most meaning.
Yeah, I've read these both. I probably read them once a year. Same concept. Book's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is the original book. It was published. It's been in publication for hundreds of years. Hundreds for this one? No. The one I'm thinking about is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's been in production.
I'm currently reading that book.
It's a great book. You already have most of those concepts down anyways. This book is paramount to any person with a business mind who wants to progress, or even in life. The only difference between the two, this one's Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. This one was made he did this in correlation with Dennis Kimborough, did this in correlation with Napoleon Hill. The only difference between the two is this gives you examples of people of esteem within the Black culture who have gone on to progress who were dead broke at some point. Oprah Winfrey, a lot of these people that you've heard of before that you never truly knew what their goal was and to get to where they got. And you'll never ever have the opportunity to meet them. Most likely, very few of us will get to meet those people. But both these books are monumentally must-haves in any collection. They're both great books. And that's the start of this selection. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for having
Thanks
me.
for coming, brother. I appreciate you so
Thank
much.
you so
I love
much,
you so
buddy.
much, man.
You too, man.
All right. We're gone, man. Next week, I got Jamie coming in. He's going to be talking about a number of different things. But happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever gets you off. And happy ho-ho. Peace.